Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to upgrade the 3D printer. I go from a standard P1P Bambu Lab printer to a P1P with an AMS 2. I printed a few extra add-ons for this. I got the desiccant holders inside with the humidity sensor. There's one in the back as well. I also 3D printed a spool holder for the side that goes into the back. Looky here, look what I got in the mail today. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this right now. I can't install it yet because there's a couple things I need to do. One, I need to make my cabinet a little bit larger, and I also have a 3D print going on right now, so I can't really do anything until this is done. So once this is done and I get the shelf, I'm going to move this shelf up, or I may move this shelf down. I don't know, to get a little bit more room to put the AMS up here. But I want to show the whole process. And for now, let's just do a quick unboxing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I ordered this about a month and a half ago, and the AMS itself, the AMS 2 Pro, was on back order, so it didn't show up until today. But the other parts, because I've got a P1P printer, there's a few other things that you need for that. You need the adapter for plugging in the AMS so the drying works. This is a filament buffer. This is going to attach and allow the filaments to basically it attaches to the back of the printer, and basically it comes off the AMS and controls the flow of the filament into the printer from the AMS. There's that. Got some more PTFE tube. There is the cable, the bus cable, the 4-pin that connects to the printer. And this is this is a PTFE tube connector. So this basically will connect I believe it's to connect two PTFE tubes together. So let's go ahead and get this piece open here. All right. So in here, you see it's actually a lot smaller than I expected. I was for some reason thinking it was going to be much larger, but this is my first AMS, and originally I never got an AMS because I wasn't that interested in doing multicolored prints, and I really still am not interested in doing multicolored prints. But having the capability, I may do it, but I typically build more utilitarian things. And if I'm going to want colors on something, I just paint it. But this is going to give me the opportunity to house my filaments inside of it. That way, if I do want to change colors, if I want to have um, different colors for different pieces, I don't have to pull the spool off, leave it in there. I can just select, okay, I want this one to be yellow, I want this one to be green, that sort of thing. So take the plastic off. It's got the stuff to protect it. Little quick start guide up here on top. These little plastic things to kind of keep it nice looking. This is the part a lot of people like to see. And then this here will come up and allow you to put your 4 different filament spools in here. And so that's pretty much it for now. This is a few parts down here that we'll pull out, and then I think the first thing that I'm going to print is extra desiccant holders. There's desiccant holders that people have designed that fit in between the extruder heads here. So basically, there's desiccant back here, and then up front you can add extra desiccant. But these holders are there to basically give you extra passive. So one of the things that I learned about this after I purchased it is it doesn't dry while you're printing. These are two separate things. You have to uh, disconnect the filaments and tie them up so that they can rotate. This will automatically rotate the filament while it's drying. So it's one of those things where you'll dry the filament, and then the next day you can start something if you're having issues. But because I live in northern Alabama, it does get humid in the spring, summer. So uh, quality of print is affected by the moisture level in your filament. So that's the biggest reason that I bought the AMS 2 Pro. And I'm going to go ahead and get everything taken care of. And once this 3D print finishes, we're going to start getting it installed in the cabinet. Okay, welcome back. So last night I finished up this print. It just wrapped up actually. So what I have here is something actually for the AMS. If you look at the AMS itself, this guy has slots back here which are designed to hold these desiccant packs that come with the printer. They just kind of slide back in here once you open them up and go through. But these two little spots here are the only spots that are kind of designed by the manufacturer. But a lot of users have come up with ways to add desiccant in here to maximize the amount of moisture absorption. And these spots in between the filament heads, they've designed these 3D prints to fit in there. So that's what I printed, was these. This one right here actually is one of the larger ones that fits down. Should see if I can get this cleaned up real quick. We'll test the fit. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this guy goes like that. Okay, it's a perfect fit. So you see how that goes in there? It's got a little lid that you kind of slot in right here. Just fill that up with desiccant. It actually printed a little funnel to go in there. But another couple things that I printed as well. So this unit is designed to sit on top of the glass lid of a P1S or an X1 or one of the H2D printers. Well, I've got the P1P, and you notice there is no glass top here. So to mount it up here without it falling off, there's a print designed by Bambu Lab that fits into the bottom of this and lets it sit on the rail. So I've got these. Here's one, here's the other, and basically once it slots into the AMS, it basically sits right here on the side and basically will rest above that. And kind of, you can see where I have to do a modification here is I've got to account for the height of the AMS, the lid open, my printer, plus the stand to raise this shelf up higher so that I can accommodate all this in the space. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually lower this shelf about 3.5 inches. I've got this space right here that's not being used. So I'll get this shelf right here lowered down probably about to here. That way this one can be a little bit lower, and it's going to make accessing the filament a little bit easier and not so tall. And then I'm going to raise this one up. I'll have to find a new place to put my track saw, but probably just set it over on top of that shelf and go from there. So let me get these things pulled off the printer, and then I'm going to get the printer unplugged and set over so we can get the AMS installed and see how it goes. All right. Okay, now I need to figure out the height of what this is going to be with the mount on there and everything. So I'm just going to do this to get a measurement so I know how tall I need to lift that second shelf up. So the way this is supposed to work is let's lock this so it doesn't tip open when I'm turning it over. These plug in like that. They're fairly loose fit, so I'm gonna have to hold them when I flip it. All right. Once that's done, flip it this way, and it slots down in here like this. And I do have this piece right here that I 3D printed as well, because this thing can slide back and forth. And to prevent that, someone designed this clip, which fits into this front little slot right here. So basically, what you're supposed to do is run it through here like this, and then pull this up as far forward as you can. Clip that into place, and this prevents this from sliding around. It's not super sturdy, but it's enough to keep it from sliding around. So this is what it's going to look like once it's in the unit. So now I need to open the lid up, take a measurement so I can get a measurement for how tall my shelf is going to be. All right. We're looking at 33 3/4 of an inch. Actually, let's go to 34 1/4 because the little tab up here at the top. So 34 1/4. Okay, for this, you can't really have this in place. I guess you could, but I'm going to actually remove mine because the filament tube will come out this way, and I don't want anything kind of get in the way because it's going to come up and wrap around and come into here.
Hey everybody. I'm sure you heard me say earlier that once I had my new AMS hooked up, that I wouldn't be able to use the external filament. But I actually did some research and turns out I can use external filament. But there's a few things that have to go with that. I have to get a splitter, and then there's processes to get those kind of attached and put through. So basically, it's a couple parts that I had to print. I printed this piece right here, which is a spool holder, which attaches to the side of the printer here. I'll leave a link to the one I printed, and also need a splitter. So what this is going to do is going to have, I'm waiting for some parts to show up, but it's going to have a PTFE tubes that fit in here, and then on this end as well. And basically it's going to go in the back and it's going to guide whichever one it is, whether it's from the external spool or from the AMS. And once I get everything kind of situated with that, then definitely be showing that as well. But a couple other things I've had to put on order. I've got it's going to be a spool holder or roller essentially to fit in this area to allow it to roll smoothly. So one of the reasons that you would need an external spool holder for these is if you want to print a flexible material like TPU. TPU does not do well in an AMS, so they recommend you do it from the external spool. So you would need that. But another problem with that is because of how stretchy that material is, it doesn't roll so well on the stock roller. So what we'll have to do is print one of those. I've got some bearings coming that's used for, so um, just waiting on that stuff to get shipped from Amazon. I'll leave a link to all the products that I did get, but for now I'm going to pull this off the print bed and get it installed and see how it looks.
Hey everybody, so thanks for watching. This video is getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I was going to show the modification of my cabinet, making it larger, doing the door and all that, but with all that footage, it was getting to be about 30 to 40 minutes long, and I really didn't want to be that long. So this video is just going to focus on the upgrade to the 3D printer, and I will post a video in the future showing the cabinet door build and some other things that I'm going to be doing to the cabinet as well. So stay tuned for that update, and we will talk to you soon.